Ms. Burchett.
I'm ready. Good evening, everyone. First of all, let me introduce myself. I am Barbara Burchett. I am representing, standing in for Mr. Jones. He has some family matters that came up, the reason he cannot be here today. But I'm going to try and answer as many questions as I can on his behalf. So, if you would like me to, I can tell you just a couple of things why I think that Mr. Jones should be County Commissioner for the District Seat 11. First of all, I know Mr. Jones from way back. Mr. Jones and I grew up together. So to tell you about the things that he believed in, I know I'm going to be saying the right thing that you need to hear. And being that County Commissioner seat, Mr. Jones has 35 years of commitment to the community and the public service. He's also, his former background, which would help you understand why I feel like he's going to make some of the good decisions for the city. He's a former law enforcement, and he was that for over 15 years. He also worked with the FBI, certified firearm instructor. Mr. Jones also has been a business owner in the community. He served the community well. His current his job, employment, he's now with Memphis City Code Enforcement. He's also with the NCAA collegiate basketball official. So when I say community, I say Mr. Jones knows about the people, the children, the PTA, the school system, and all of those things that is going to be very helpful in a community. I also want to let you know that Mr. Jones has an executive advisory for the council members. He's with the SCS, that's the Teachers Effective, the SCS Parents Advisory Committee, Juvenile Court Oversight, and for ACO committee members. And Mr. Jones has always been in the neighborhood, and he's always been canvassing with it. Wrap it up for you. Okay. Make a long story short then, I apologize. Make a long story short, I'm asking you all to support Eddie Jones in his effort in helping the County Commission become a better place for the Shelby County and the city of Memphis. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Troy Townsend.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
2 minutes, huh?
Yeah.
First of all, let me introduce myself to those. I guess I'm virtually unknown with a lot of you. My name is Claude Talford. I am a candidate, the candidate for County Commission District 11. Excuse me. Got a little frog up there. I have spent the last 25 years I spent in public service. I spent 25 years as a firefighter with the Memphis Fire Department, attaining the rank of Deputy Director, which at that point, being a Deputy Director for the Memphis Fire Department, I handled a budget over $100 million and over 1,200 employees. I retired from the Memphis Fire Department and went on to the Memphis and Shelby County Emergency Management Director. As the Memphis and Shelby County Emergency Management Director, I not only work with city government, but I work with county government and all the municipalities within Shelby County. I also work with the 6 surrounding counties of Shelby County, around Shelby County, which included Crittenden, Tipton, Lauderdale, and DeSoto, and Fayette County. So I know about working with elected officials. I've worked with them most of my career. I know the process. I know how to prepare a budget. I know how to read a budget. Unlike some of my opponents, I have retired, and I've retired from 2 positions, from the Emergency Management Director and also from the Fire Department. So I would be a full-time commissioner if you elect me. Basically, I want to bring back respect to the County Commission. I think they have reached a point that they're not being respectful to the citizens of this community. They're not being responsive to the citizens of this community, and I think I can do that. By being a full-time commissioner, I can be there at the beck and call of any committee meeting, and I can also be there when you need me at night, late at night. My phone number is on the back of my brochure. That number will never change because I want to be accessible. I'm not going to change my number because I want to be accessible to the citizens of Shelby County. Basically, I'm a father, I'm a mentor, I'm a husband. I attended Carver High School and graduated from Carver. I attended the University of Memphis, and I'm kind of trying to watch her over here. And I've been married to James Vincent for the last 10 years, and I have a daughter that's 27 years old, working on her master's, so I believe in education. When it comes down to the issues, that's it. I didn't see the fan go.
Thank you very much. We have 2 questions for the candidates, and they differ in scope from the previous questions. Make this process just that much more interesting. 90% of the transportation money is spent outside of the I-240 freeway loop. What would you do to make more city improvements?
Excuse me, we're not gonna, I'm gonna sit here and I think my voice is strong enough for everyone to hear. We're not going to let the young lady try and answer a question for the candidate that's not here, because it would be her views and not the candidate's views. So we're just going to address that question to Mr. Talford, please. 1 minute, Mr. Talford.
Basically, we would have to work with the state and make sure that the funding that comes from state and federal levels, is spent properly. I really didn't quite understand the question when they're saying 90% of the transportation dollars are being spent outside of the 240 loop. When you speak of transportation, are you talking about expressways, bus systems? I mean, the question was a little vague when you speak of transportation.
90% of the transportation money is spent outside of the I-240 freeway loop. What would you do to make more city improvements?
Once again, that's kind of, I would work with well, as a commissioner, and I think they're starting to work that way. The commissioner started to work with the council to alleviate some of the urban blight and urban problems within the 240 loop. So I think it would be up to me as a county commissioner to work with the city council to make sure that the street paving rotation is more vigorous than it currently is. But other than that, when you talk about transportation dollars, that's going to be a state and federal issue, unless you're talking about bus systems. So if you're talking about just roads, that's going to be a matter of us working jointly with the city council to make sure those dollars are being spent wisely.
Okay. Thank you so much. And ladies and gentlemen, let me do this.
Go right ahead.
And this is in follow-up. My very brief comment now is in follow-up to the statement that Ms. Virgie Banks just made a minute ago, which she was perfectly correct in making. However, we did allow at least 1 or 2 other individuals who are serving who had presented in proxy for their absentee candidates to respond to the question. So in the sense of fairness, and that's the hallmark of being a Democrat. Would you agree? I can't hear you. Would you agree? Then in the sense of fairness, I think if Ms. Barbara would like to respond to this question on behalf of her candidate is absent, we allow you opportunity to do that.
I'm going to stand before the group today, and I'm going to decline that and ask that you respect that, because it would be my opinion and not Mr. Jones.
Sounds good. Thank you very much. Second question. Mr. Talford, should we review Shelby Farms Parkway or wait until the I-40, 240 project is complete?
Should we review?
Should we review Shelby, I'm reading it precisely as it's written, sir. Should we review Shelby Farms Parkway or wait until the I-40, 240 is complete?
I take it that they mean the construction of the Shelby Parkway as opposed to moving up the I-240 interchange. Right now, I don't have enough facts to say which would outweigh the other, because you're already looking at what, a 3-year, at least 3 to 5 years on the 240 exchange, and work hadn't started on the, I think they're still in the planning phases on the Shelby Farm Parkway. Nothing has been finalized at this point. So until that has been finalized, those timetables, I mean, it's going to create a malfunction at the junction in the way you look at it. You know, so when we talk about traffic, and changing out and which projects could come before the other, I have no opinion at this point without seeing that data.
Thank you.